We could go see what's coming. An eruption of emotion and rage and now finally this company is on a standpoint. The big thrill is possible. An active breakthrough by the element.
We got a man down.
Hey, honey, baby.
Needs to be seen for them. Orgullosamente latino hasta la muerte y después Latino pride, the crossing to finals against K-Dot and the 2017.
Thank you very, very much.
Welcome to K100 with Conan and Disco. Millions and millions of downloads and pound after pound of Iranian tobacco later. We're now chopping it up on Believe. This week on the show, the crew is going to cover a variety of topics, including the latest AEW pay-per-view, Camille's take on a controversy from that show, a recent report on pro wrestling's YouTube and social media numbers, and recent talents released or let go by AEW and who might be next. All this plus Harry Reid's return to talk Lucha Libre, and the Disco List is back. And now, without further delay, let's hand it off to the master of the verbal gems. It's Conan.
Yo, we're back with episode 454 of Keeping It 100 with Conan, the mighty DI, and Jojo, the Philly entrepreneur. Boom, what it do?
What's going on? What's happening?
Yo, we're back like we never left. Let's start off the show like we always do, the shout-outs. If I go to your name or city, too bad it's our Indian tobacco accent. We keeping it 1,000. GM sports fan from Solidaridad, Playa del Carmen, Quintano Road, Mexico. Badil Kiryu from Malaysia, Emmy from Dublin, Ireland. The disclaimer from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, a falling brick from Stoneville, North Carolina, Thirst, Brown Pig, Baltimore, Praying Faith, Seattle, Stop the Damn March, Forest Lake, Minnesota, Angel Rivera, Montclair, New Jersey, George from Fullerton, California, Melinda and Eric, big fan of couples or family members or friends listening to our show together. From West Virginia, the Dark Omen, Kentucky, Anderson, Murfreesboro, Tennessee, Jay Martell from Sharon, Pennsylvania, Larger Than Life, London, Ontario, Canada, Andres Sandoval.
Oh, fuck you, Cooper. Go to hell, huh?
Jacob, Harbor Creek, Pennsylvania.
That's not even me. That's my teammate.
TNA champion, Palm Springs, California. No rest holds, Detroit. We wins engagements, I guess is what it is. Los Angeles, Jesse Malloy, Washington. A guy from Philly. Chris Factor from North Cali. Steve 43, Los Angeles.
I think that tank is still moving, baby doll. Never mind.
Ankle Light, Houston. That Terrain 15, Chillicothe, Ohio. JB Artist Music 11 from Connecticut. And we've got a couple Patreon members here. Thank you for your support. Traveling Throat Goat, Lexington, Kentucky. Chris Daniel, FSP. Fresno, California. He reps the promotion Fighting Spirit Pro. I believe he's a ref.
Yeah.
Patreon, where we make. How would you know that?
I just know of him. I've spoken to him.
Oh, that's right. He sent me a thing that he said that he did the opening one time.
Yeah, a couple times.
Do you do that anymore with fans or no?
Yeah, it's not as frequent. Like I think the novelty wore off.
What's going on, Daniel?
People
Or do you know if the novelty wore off?
stop answering. When I say who wants to do the intro, and I get crickets, I just go, okay.
Well, that's not the novelty wore off. That just means they don't want to do it.
Wait.
Patreon, where we make some.
Yeah, only one. You can only pick up one.
Thanks, guys. Hi, guys. Patreon, we make some real paper, no ads. We try to be anti-formulaic. We don't try, we are. We bring entertaining, thought-provoking, and informative content and a lot of podcasting. Yo, these are paid YouTube members. Once again, we all want to thank you for your support. Helps pay the bills. Alfonso Eubanks, Michael Serrano, Deshaun McKenzie, Spread My Cakes and Part of My Ass, BBW Lovers LLC, Ricky Lobo, Arthur G, Brad Armstrong.
I'll see that chopper.
Our subscriber count at the time is at 65,000.
She playing her cards correct.
And view count is at almost 57 million. Make sure that the part that I say at the end, Joe, where I say there's officially over 6,000 videos and all that,
Yes.
make sure you keep that in there.
Yeah.
Just real quick, did anybody watch I did not. Did anybody watch the AEW pay-per-view?
No, I just saw clips.
Trust me, this girl knows what she's doing. I won many times with her before.
Yeah, someone was like, I saw a tweet where someone was like, no one should ever blame CM Punk again for shit.
She's my most trusted teammate
You want to do a Rock revenge with Punk?
ever.
Like, Punk was like, I don't even know what that, because he said he never saw any Rocky movie.
Right.
So that was someone on Twitter was like, the Moxley's finishes are just him beating the fuck out of everybody, choking them out, and then they go away. So no one should ever shit on Punk again for complaining about Moxley's finishes or something like that. Those are-
What did you watch the pay-per-view?
Here's the thing about AEW. I already watched Dynamite, I already watched Collision, and the pay-per-views are way too long for me. The matches are way too long for me. So I'll just watch clips, and I haven't really seen any clips.
That's where these shows are where AEW has their echo chamber, because they draw the percentage of their fans that view the product on media and television is very high. That gets the pay-per-views. Like they've been pretty consistent. Like think about this. They've been very consistent. They get around 120,000 viewers for the pay-per-views, regardless of what they were doing. 1,900,000, 800,000, 700,000, not even 600,000, but that's a pretty strong retention rate for audience. For the amount of audiences watching, that's like 16%.
Well,
They're going 8 minutes.
Other pay-per-views do well because he usually puts big matches together.
Right.
For whatever reason, he can't translate that to TV.
Well, that's one thing. And this is a funny thing. I keep trying to
She shot it with that gun at first. Should have used
that the metrics are very
a homing launcher.
AEW is not drawing enough fans on their TV in the media, so they're not drawing houses.
Yes.
And everybody goes, well, what about the 12,000 people? I go, yeah, well, that's the one thing. We've been very consistent with this for like almost 6 or 7 years. Even when WWE was in the mud, like 7, 8 years ago, they still did their big shows well. Like when WrestleMania was always still a big event. SummerSlam is always still a big event. And with AEW, remember when they started, their pay-per-views were kind of really big events. And then they were doing those same, remember when they were branding their weekly shows like, Winter Massacre or something? Right, okay, those are better, right? But the problem is, because people resonate to their pay-per-views, those are like their biggest shows, they don't do TV well enough to make people think like, I gotta see the TV. But like, I wonder how many people don't watch their show, but get the pay-per-views on a consistent basis. And I think that's probably a lot of their audience because, they have this like a match quality fan base and stuff. They'll talk to, you know, like they'll have a portion of their fans will have time in their day to watch Hamada versus Yakaguchi from Japan that they heard was a 4-star.
Yeah, they're just still in the same fucking place. They can't stay there.
Right? So when AEW does these shows, they go, okay, well, this is going to be a great match. This is what everybody contributes to. And it just points out the fact that Brother Weekly television is very underwhelming. And if it was better, you know, you'd probably be drawn to it. Maybe drawn more than 120,000 fans for your paper. So we back up around like 100, 170, almost 200,000. Like I said, it's hard to do with one guy. Obviously. You know, I mean, like, go ahead.
To me, it's relatable to what Conan has said about burnout, PWG shows being long, and every match would fall to the wall and show like that. And that, to me, has always been what I saw with AEW. It came out strong. It was a lot of fun to watch. It was different. And then it became like trying to watch a PWG show every week. You know,
Right.
When every match is big spots and neck bumps and all this cool shit, you think you're going to see on pay-per-view, but you see it every week, then you get desensitized.
Right, and plus too, the matches haven't really changed, and that's why they're not. You know, they've enough of people over the course of 5 years plus has seen the type of work, has seen the blood, has seen these papers. I mean, how do you? Well, how many matches on the pay-per-view, Joe? Look this up. How many matches had blood? You know, gory blood before the main event.
On the pay-per-view?
Well, Moxley did Conan. This is how much
Let's see how
blood
far
is on
this.
the show.
That's like far out.
This has always been the rule of thumb for me, and this is how I was taught. If you're gonna have blood in the main event, which they did, no other match should have blood.
Correct.
Because you've already been, you know, and so like what Joe said about desensitized, that's exactly the correct word. Because I remember one time when I was booking in Mexico, like extreme matches, and like I was going, like we did this thing where we put this guy on a cross and we hung him up and we put barbed wire on him, and we were just doing the craziest things I could think of.
Right.
And there came a point where the audience really wasn't reacting, and I called Pauline and I said, bro, I did this, this, and this, and he goes,
I don't know, self-delete, then start back over. I don't know.
You gotta give it
I don't
to
know
him
what
in
to
little
tell
pieces
this girl.
like that. But I was overproducing, like I wanted to give him, you know what I'm saying? And so yeah, that's the same thing. When every match is big, you know, what separates them from other matches?
I know it's a game, but that's just unrealistic with that plan to stay in one place.
And especially if they look
Balance, like
amateurish.
The matches, yeah, real quick, that had blood was, and I mean, maybe these make sense, maybe some of you think, but Ospreay and Fletcher in a cage, that should probably, you know, and then Tony and Mariah had an extremely bloody match. I saw pictures of it, but they had a big feud, right? So maybe that was a place for blood too. I don't know about that much.
That's the thing.
That's two matches had blood.
Yeah, it says that
Come on.
this was at Moxley and maybe Copeland.
Yeah, but they're bleeding. Mariah May and Tony Storm were bleeding profusely
Everywhere.
Like, look, yeah, their faces like a crimson, like literally a crimson.
And it was all over.
Yeah, that's a great. That's a great.
That's all it is.
that I love.
Well, yeah, the funniest thing is though, is like, so think about this. Did Mariah May and Tony Storm need blood? Okay, because their angle is kind of based on the premise that Tony Storm is playing a character. Like, it's not a, you know, there's nothing like, there's this weird universe that they created where they're not really adhering to the concept of protecting the suspension disbelief. You kind of know that show is hokey. But for some inexplicable reason, they use the gratuitous blood, and I think the blood looks, in the context of the show, it's like South Park blood. It's like humorous. It's gore. Like, during South Park does blood, they took that blood out of their heads, and, you know. So when they did, like, when Mariah May and Tony Storm were doing, like, profusely bleeding, I'm like, when was this angle?
Well, here's the thing. I think,
you know, like, I don't know, it's just weird. It's just, yeah.
I think this was.
My teammate asked me
Bro, they've been
again, or I told him I'm down, or do a different winning.
It's been a while, and this was their blow-off match. This was, you know, whatever it was called, perfect ending or some shit like that, happy ending or whatever it was called. And so it needed. I had no problem with it be bloody and gory because they would use a shoe and so. But I think that's their blow off match. Like they're gonna go separate ways now. Yeah.
Yeah, the Hollywood end.
So I could see blood.
It's answering me now.
Yeah. But then it was cinematic though. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. They don't get blood.
I say fuck this cigar.
It's not work.
Yeah.
Like you're not gaining. Like you didn't gain an audience. You didn't They weren't fans looking for blood.
But you don't know that, bro. You don't know who likes it, who doesn't like it, because you're just one person. But here's the thing: they do a lot of gratuitous blood. I can guarantee you, and I'm not trying to put myself over some Bengali, but when I use blood, it has a reason, and you're gonna become emotionally involved. I guarantee you that, because you know what I'm saying. They just do it just to do it.
And usually it's like perfect example. Okay. You want to use blood when the heat between your main event angle has got to the point where it's drawing huge houses, and like the people they want to know what the blow-off's going to be, who's going to win and who's going to lose, and these guys fight a bloody battle for whoever goes over, because this is like an important build-up of 3-4 months of storytelling, and like they blow it off. That's a good spot to use blood because you've got people invested so much that when the house is sold out, okay. There's this mindset, like a lot of people are emotionally invested toward they're engrossed in the suspension of disbelief. They believe these two people have talked away and they're going to fight each other. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like AEW never really presents itself as like a serious product because there's too much hokey, goofy stuff on the show for any of these angles to elevate to a legitimate point where you say like, oh, this is serious. And both the weekly TV numbers show it.
And you're right, because one of the only guys that comes off as like real to me, they're like not hokey. Hangman Page, the Hurt Business, Darby Allin when he was there.
Right.
Okay, who else should I put in that? There's maybe one more, but most of it callous, I think, tries to,
Right.
But other than that, it's a lot of hokiness. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of bad comedy.
And a lot of times, when there's been times where it's supposed to be heat, and there's supposed to be a beat down, and there's supposed to be pull-up, they haven't been done well with a lot of the other characters. That's one thing you can point to, too. Like I'm saying, like...
No, you idiot.
The Keshnick, Fletcher, Will Ospreay, all those run-ins and beat, heat spots were not that great. And maybe that's why Mariah May and Tony Storm are better, because like they've been doing it better. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's like but to me, I'm just not. I would say this: they can keep doing blood, go ahead. But I think the blood has been out there enough, and it's like you can't look at it and say that's drawn anything, because they don't have any numbers that draw anything right now. You know what I'm saying? Like everything's on a downward trend. You would point out some things like, why are we on a downward trend? Well, maybe because there's too much blood in the wrong spots. Maybe a lot of the stuff you're doing or trying to do doesn't really mean anything. You guys do it so much, and it's like people just get disinterested in this stuff, and they don't bother seeing your show until the pay-per-views come on. So I don't know. Let's get to the mailbag. That was an interesting discussion about philosophy of wrestling. But my point is though that these shows that they do are 99.9% of the time always received very positively by the people that purchase the shows. So that's one thing that they are doing well is their big shows. They're getting return.
Yeah, well, they draw well on those big shows.
Right.
It hasn't translated anywhere else, but at least that's doing good.
Right. Yeah, that's just, like you said. It's like the funniest thing is AEW could have just been a company where like Global Force Wrestling, where Tony, books guys per show.
Yes, my boy.
Sign anybody with contract, just book guys for $25. But the weekly not, dude. I looked something. I got sent salaries. Okay, what these people are making. Did you get that too, Joe?
No, but I was going to say there's an email later about how there's 180 people in contract and stuff.
Well, the talent budget on a weekly basis for that company is like $1 million. No. Yeah, $1 million. Okay, so think about that. All right, You've got guys on there making like $100,000 a match, $25,000 a match, $50,000 because they don't wrestle that much. Or they're not doing house shows, right? And then they're throwing like 2,500 people some of the shows, and it's like, dude, you got that's a problem. Like if you're gonna pay these people all that money, you need to use these characters right. And there's just a lot, I heard that Nyla Rose is like the third highest paid female wrestler in the company.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I think she's like $1 million a year.
What?
Like $1 million a year.
Holy shit!
So if you saw this list, you'd have a heart attack.
Well, give me a couple of names that you were that when you saw, you were like, what?
Grok, hang on, Grok says Nyla Rose, although AEW is a private company, does not release official payroll, blah, blah, blah. Most sites have estimated her annual salary payers to range around $2 million.
Yeah. Wow. This might be an estimate. These numbers I saw just might be estimates, right? But it's like, dude, everybody. Like, I mean, everybody's $500,000 and above in that place. You would think that they use on TV. Some of them are $1 million. Some of them, some of them.
You know what's the sad part?
$50,000 a match. If you look at how many times they work.
Yeah, and the sad part is that anybody that becomes valuable, they'll end up signing with WWE.
Right. Now the WWE guys' downside guarantees are they don't have near as many people making as much money as they do in AEW. Right, but the WWE numbers, their downside guarantee, and not including their merch. You know what I'm saying? Which is if you're popular, that's how you're making your money. In that place. So,
Do you use Grok a lot?
Oh yeah, there was an actual tweet like Grok is replacing Google.
I had some health questions over the weekend, and
I could see that happening.
It was like a conversation, like they talk jokes with you, and it goes, "No, it's not this. Don't panic. It's probably this." But anyway. It also corrects itself because now people are going to say, she doesn't make $2 million, what's Stevie talking about? Grok has corrected itself and said, based on available estimates and trajectory, she likely earned between $500,000 and $1 million. Earlier claim of $2 million seems less plausible given her recent booking. So Grok has opinions on booking as well.
Just think about that though. But this is an interesting conversation too. I think she's the third highest paid female wrestler, and she's a transgender, the transgender woman, right?
Yeah. Which
would you think it would possibly cause outrage among feminists? Okay, if they thought that like the rest of the women wrestlers would be paid considerably less. You know what I'm saying? If you think about that.
Yes.
But I don't know how much are the other ones getting paid?
Oh, like 700, 500, like not $1 million, but
well, probably because one, she is one of the first persons that started the company. If you remember, at the beginning, they used to have her.
North Queens coming in.
Funny because it was like they'd have a woman. They really hardly had a black guy in there.
Oh, you mean like the PR pictures and stuff?
Right. They always had her in them. Look at us, we're inclusive.
Yeah, it was
right?
Nyla, Brandy, Tom. And then it would be like the Bucks and Jungle Boy.
Yeah, so there was, one of each, the deal. And so maybe that's what she's getting paid for. But, bro, that's the life of a billionaire. Who just got paid, what is he getting, $500 million a year?
Right.
You can spend money like that, Yeah. But the WWE guys, even though their downside is smaller, they get better. Like, I can't get into specifics because he asked me not to, but like Dom was offered something really big, and I guarantee you he wouldn't have gotten it offered if he was in AEW. So you also have a lot of commercials and movie parts and stuff like that because that they're never gonna get.
Oh, I'm beating this.
You can claim the spa day that your friends paid you back for. Into concert tickets that you can earn up to 5% cash back on. Where spa day with the girls becomes concert ticket. Visit venmo.me/debit to learn more. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. pursuant to license by MasterCard International Incorporated. Terms apply. Cashback terms apply.
Well, I ain't do the whole thing.
The all-new 2025 Chevrolet Equinox is the SUV to help you do it. It has the technology you need, including an 11.3-inch diagonal touchscreen with easy access to apps, maps, music, and more. The cargo area is loaded with possibilities, including folding split-bench seats and putting underfloor storage for flexibility. There's even an all-new trim named Active, with a rugged off-road-inspired design for those whose passion begins where the paving ends. And the Equinox is #1 for new vehicles.
Good for up to 72 hours. And it comes with either a solid deodorant stick or starter pack is perfect just from head to toe with Mantle.
Like, they had some girl that everybody's pissed off about this. She goes, oh yeah, Russian's fake. And she was supposed to be, I think, an actress in that.
I went to movie.
They pay her used to be William Morris agents. They're supposed to live with all the high-end people. You got into everything in that company, you know? The Jesus Christ.
And I think it's funny what's talking about this. They had an actress. Who is she?
Yes, I did, but who is she?
I don't even know who she is, right?
She's in the prison. I don't know her name.
So most people probably never seen Queen of the Ring yet. It just came out. They're probably, who is she? But go ahead.
One thing I learned about Twitter. Just know you're gonna win before anybody else does. So thank you for teaching me that.
Okay, so I don't think it's that. Do you think Camille's response to that? Well, what is Camille's response to that? Okay? So I guess this girl was a bunch of Camille. Okay?
Camille's involved with the movie or anything?
I guess maybe she's in the movie too. That's big deal. I'm not going to go too big.
You're right there. I thought that was well known.
I'm sorry. I'm
Dude, critic.
wrestling. I love the history of professional wrestling. I respect the wrestling
Yeah.
business. I can give two shits about the promotion first.
Let's go. This really want to coach?
Yeah. It's a play.
Oh,
This actress see that, wrestling is fake or anything. And it was my girlfriend and I was thinking, oh, she sees something like that. She has so, I did trusted her, I was going to send her. She has so much respect for wrestling now, so I looked into it and I watched the video. Guys, that's not what she meant. I did press with her, and a lot of questions that were asked was like, what's your biggest takeaway from this film? And something that she really reinforced was that she learned from Mildred's story and from a lot of the wrestlers that she got to talk to is that they already know they're going to win. She's not talking about who's going to win. If you notice, she doesn't say, y'all already know who's going to win. She said, y'all already know you're going to win. What she meant by that is we are determined. We know that we're winners. We know that we're going to make it no matter what. We have in our mind, we're determined that we are going to win, that we're going to get where we want to go, do what we want to do, what dream we set. That's what she meant. And if you watch other interviews that she did, she makes it much more clear. It's unfortunate, and it's unfortunate it came out the way it did in the situation it came out in, but she only had a few seconds to get across something that was really meaningful for her. Like something that she's a deep thinker, guys. Someone that's such a deep thinker, do you really think that the biggest takeaway is, oh, you guys are telling me that this is really tournament, thanks for that. Guys, yeah, we're showing right now that the wrestling community is actually really mean and nasty and loves to attack, which I don't disagree with.
hey, Hannah.
Let's give people the benefit of the doubt. Let's go with her, you guys. Let's get the words from her mouth when she has more than 5 seconds to say what she's trying to say. Again, unfortunate, it's the way it came out. That was you guys. Attack me if you want. I don't care. I feel good if you don't care. But you're not about to attack me. So what? She's no fool. She's a deep thinker.
She sounds like a heavy.
The business?
Yeah, that's enough.
Okay, let me just say a couple of things here. Okay, first thing, I love Camille. She worked in AAA, professional, great to deal with. Okay, that's a whole nother subject. But obviously, as she said, this is her girlfriend, so she's got her back. Nothing wrong with that. But if she's such a deep thinker, why did she say something stupid? You know?
Yeah. I mean,
And it's and the thing is like, you know, okay, you said she respects the wrestling business, and then she does. Why did she say that? We all know it's fake. Big fucking deal with that. Name it, fake's the right word. It's acting. It's whatever you want to call it. But the fake it isn't because I've got 2 implants in my hips. Okay, so I mean, that's my feeling.
you're 100% right. Number one, the girl meant exactly what she said. She was just an inappropriate thing to say out of wrestling match. But she's probably a indie wrestling player that hasn't like to be a big real. Everybody thought they put it over, but you remember when you say that at the show, which is all that really was.
Yeah, you're in front of wrestling fans. They didn't want to hear that shit. But,
Say
yeah.
that and say, hey, let me tell you what's what they didn't, before they put the show on air, they asked her what she was going to say. So now we go for it.
And here's another thing,
Right,
Disco.
yeah,
Intention does not negate impact.
right,
So
exactly.
what you meant to say, all right, well, that's what you said. That's all we got to go on.
Right.
We don't need to do another interview with you. Go, what did you really mean? You know what I'm saying?
Because
And we all,
we're stupid for not seeing what you
right,
really meant.
and we've all said things that, you know, for example, was taken out of context. Like you've seen the stuff that we say that they'll put on there, and like, okay, finish the sentence, dude, because that's not all I said. You know what I'm saying? Or we've said stuff that, you know, maybe we needed to put more context on it. You know what I'm saying? But that's the only thing you're gonna say. She should have been like, bro, I love AEW, I love the movie, go see it, promote. You don't gotta say something like that, but like you said, she's probably a newbie, did not know better.
Now, when I watched Camille do that thing, when I watched yesterday, I said to myself, bro, this is a great spot for her, for character development, okay? That she could, in future interviews and interview segments that she does with people, she gets the mic, okay? She could say something. And then, like the next time she does an interview, she sits there and goes, no, that's not what I said, that's not what I meant. People are too stupid to understand. This is what I meant. Right. Like kind of use that shtick in future promos now that like basically you're all too stupid to understand what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like I would do that with the next couple of promos.
Yeah, that's funny, but here's the if we see her again, bro, I don't understand something. There's very few girls that look like Camille in this business. Okay? She's got a great look. You know, she was an NWA for years, you know, as a champion. She learned how to work. And they have her as the bodyguard for Monet, right? And then, all of a sudden, everybody's like punking her out. Rick Baker punked her out. I remember some other girl. Remember we talked about this? She fell on her when she was on a chair. And I was like, bro, they could have really gotten hurt. And I'm like, why are they even touching her so soon? Right? So then they had this girl that, you know, could have done this character perfectly as a badass. But then you have her getting beat. But then you bring another girl that Megan, the one that doesn't sell for Megan Bain, which what Mia should have been booked like. You know what I'm saying? And so I got it.
Oh, I told you this, Mia. She got up.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I told her this on the show.
I didn't remember.
Oh, she got up.
Okay. Yeah, she's outspoken and she should be.
Enough of that. Enough of that. All right.
Can I just bring something real quick up before we get to sports? This has to do with, okay, WWE top YouTube videos from last week. Every entrant in the, number one, every entrant in the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble match. Really? Number two, 2025 Men's Royal Rumble.
We give you the number of views?
Yeah, almost 5 million, 4,900,000. Men's Royal Rumble match with almost 4 million, 3 million. Number three, listen to this. I Show Speed vows to eliminate Roman Reigns next year, 2 million. Right? Number four, I Show Speed stepped into, that was great. I'm surprised that's not number one. Stepped into Royal Rumble gets the head fight. Braun Breaker.
Yes.
That's great. Number five, The Rock to Cody Rhodes. I want you to be my champion. Okay.
We, yeah, it's not tough.
Yes, I am.
But this is what I keep arguing.
And I'm slick with it too.
So they do 1.7 on TV. Correct, Joe? Right. Over on their YouTube channel, their best stuff is doing like at minimum 1.5 million.
Okay, let me tell you, here's another thing. Just in the first 6 segments of YouTube, that's like 12 million right there.
Right, I want to make this point. Maybe people completely are just watching, like they're just forgetting, okay? That when you watch a wrestling show, that, you know, you just remember like specific things. You'll remember, like, you don't remember every move from the match, and like, you maybe fast forward to the match and won't even pay attention, like, you really won, right? So you look at these other numbers, okay, like this is for 4 to 5 million on YouTube for 1 second. And now there's only 1.7 million people that watch a show, okay, and that's just YouTube. So now we're talking. Let's just add these numbers up. 4.9 and 1.7 is 6.6 million, okay. Then you're also doing these gimmicks are going on their X page. Instagram, but for like another 3 million views. Dude, there's literally
And Netflix. And NXT.
But you don't have to bring them up. Back in the day, right, when there was only one media platform, okay, television, and you had to watch when it was on Nitro, when it was on, right? And so people were talking about how the combined audience was like 10 to 12.
See you around, OG.
Okay, well now we have more media besides television that they're viewing the content on, and bro, we're talking 10, 12 million people on a weekly basis here. So it's not out of the realm of like, it doesn't know, why are they selling out? It's like, well, obviously, so many people are consuming their content that they're kind of looking for there's enough demand for the product. And this is how we do it. It's just so confusing. It's TV, you take the best parts of the show, our best stuff, and we drop it all over social media. If you didn't watch the show, 10 minutes of time would think about the best episode anyway, and you come to town, there's nothing to the show. It's funny, big demand around the race ticket. And it's like, I'm having trouble every week trying to jam this down people's friends that dude, what is so difficult to understand? Like, this is why we're selling out. And this is what the other companies not to know. You can gauge against AEW, their TV stuff.
I find it so fascinating. I find it so fascinating that you have to explain to a former fan, okay, a former writer,
Get me.
champion, what you just said.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's obvious to me that one or two things is happening here, if not both. He's keeps his base happy.
The girls are smart.
Anti-wrestling and anti-WWE and anti-everything. Right? That's a shtick, right? Right? Like Cornette had his shtick. Right. For a long time.
Dang.
And so,
Come on,
and
girls,
the
y'all
other
can
thing
do it.
is that no matter what you say, he's not going to listen anymore because I really believe that he's mad that he's not working with.
Right. Okay, well, let me tell you this.
Now, you know him better than me. Any of these...
I don't know, it's not bad that it's not working there, but I just think he was so invested that telling his listeners that the product stinks, that when it was underwhelming in numbers and in attendance, that like
a lot of his too.
you can't see that the stuff has changed. Like your whole shtick has been their shit sucks forever. But apparently there was some period of time in there where it doesn't suck anymore. You can see viewership numbers on all the media platforms are through the roof. You don't see the happy recording, right? But the other thing too is, it's like Meltzer doesn't even understand this concept. Meltzer's still trying to figure out exactly, like he thinks that Netflix is like lying about their viewership numbers. Okay, and it's because for what reason I don't know. They're subscription based. The reason they got the WWE to add subscriptions, that's what they get paid so much money. You know, like their viewership numbers are based on people. This is the worst argument, though. That you should catch people up. You've got people repeating that WWE's lost half of their audience since the 1st of January.
Right.
Mention because January 6th, there were 6 million. Okay? But bro, what were they? They were like 1.5 to 1.6 of where they got. If you go by 1.5 or 1.6 to the left of that strap, and you just add the bars, which are half the size of these other bars, which are 3.1 and like where it went to. On Netflix, they're doing twice as much as they were doing on USA Network right now. But people will sit there and say the numbers have dropped 50%. I'm like,
here's
1 week before that, the numbers have risen 100%.
all right. So here's something. Keep the graph up, please. So here's something I told you a lot and you disagree, but bro, I look at this all the time. I've noticed in most series, not every series, but in most series, whether it's comedy, drama, whatever it is, the first show always gets the curiosity views. Like, what's this about? You know, let me check it out. The second week is usually what your average really is, because all the hardcores that really liked it saw it again. The other guys are like,
I'll take third.
So okay, whether it's the second or the third, right? So they're at 3.7 or 3.0, and now they're at 3.1. They're not really that far off of that second and third week. See what I'm saying? But the first week always does well. But it is also, it's almost like in the movies, unless the movie The Barn Burner, the first week does well, and then after that it's see ya.
I would say, just real quickly, I would say let's see what it looks like in the spring, late spring, and then in the fall when it's not that hot. If they started on, if they really feeling it, it's hot.
This is my point. You're saying stuff that the people that have told you narrative is saying on the internet. Okay? But I'm saying, I don't know, you have to look at Netflix anymore. Like this one media platform, Netflix, okay, it's not engaged with the product. The engagement of the product now is attendance. Okay, because they maxed out all the media platforms because they're selling out their shows. Right. Anyone that's doing the genre that they can look at, they make sure on attendance. There's a rock and roll band going on the floor, and they're selling out everything people they want to. Go back to next year, and it's 80% full. It's like the shit that the didn't do so well. Yeah. Okay, that's just common sense. In entertainment, attendance is the number one factor. They're messed up entertainment for that because it doesn't even. Like people are like trying to analyze Netflix, but it's irrelevant. Yeah. Why do people watching this? Why do people watch on YouTube and stuff? It's like you have a massive amount of people every week, and if the product is not good, the rest of the people that don't watch the show, you can take all the best stuff and just put it out of the thing.
Let me just say two things.
The product is still very hot.
Let me just say two things off of that. Number one, it's not irrelevant what they do in Netflix, but they want to get signed. But you are right, they've already gotten all the money they want from their platform.
Right,
they're getting
it's fun. It's the right.
Right. And the other thing that I want to say, you got to remember, bro, there's a lot of people that for whatever reason, they hate WWE. And I think a lot of them are AEW fans, obviously WWE. Okay, AEW fans, and it's hard for them to admit that they're getting destroyed. And in their mind, that show sucks. This is really the good show. But bro, how many guys, for example, get invited to Sports Center from AEW? Name me 3 guys.
From AEW Sports Center?
Yeah.
I can't even name one because I'm going to go. Jericho, MJF will probably go to good media. And then probably Edge, I guess. Tony Khan.
Daniel Garcia.
No lie, Tony Khan.
Yeah, because he's Jacksonville Jack.
He's been on ESPN more than
He looked like an idiot with the neck brace on.
But let me say this, okay? So this is my take I was trying to explain to people on social media. Because it's hard to do on tweets. So my point is that the ratings, the TV ratings they only matter for AEW right now. Okay, like the analyze TV.
Damn it! No!
The WWE is maxed out on their attendance. They're selling out all the shows. AEW is having an attendance problem, all right? And their attendance problem is congruent
to the
viewership problem.
That's
basic common sense. They're not drawing enough people on their show or on their social media channels. But brother, their social media, like their X account and their YouTube channel, like it's like wrestling nerds is doing this.
You mean in content or in numbers?
Not content. Even Tony doesn't know how to use social media. Look at Tony. Tony's entire social media page, okay, his entire feed is rinse, repeat, almost verbatim, deja vu for the week before, like the same phrase.
Thank you for watching the show. We had another great show.
Well, I tweeted.
But this is awesome, Chancellor.
I posted okay? I haven't done that correctly. All right. For this tweet, okay. So, and then bro, it's just a frustrating thing because like we talk about this all the time. They're making such fundamental mistakes. Bro, just use templates that WWE is using right now. There's massive growing huge houses by using social media very well.
The gold standard, bro.
Right. So here's the thing. So listen to this tweet. This is the I'll be honest with you. Alright? Only tweeted this. Alright? So it's a picture of AWA. Tomorrow, March 12th, Fresno, California. 8 p.m. on last Wednesday night, AW Dynamite. International Eliminator, first round. Wild Card versus Beast Weirdos. The tournament of Beast Weirdos to square off over a mystery wild card opponent in the AEW International Eliminator first round tomorrow. Okay, that's free to forget you like the show. Right. What took me to this announcement I brought back to the okay, which is probably true. Like, I didn't ask that. Generally, it's over 100,000 people there. Maybe it's not people might want to watch the stuff because
I got
you. No, more than a dozen, but Morris is not a top five.
So what I'm saying, this is like something put in some skinny and it's like there's you gotta use your tools to gain interest. It's like whatever.
Let me just read the first 3 or 4 points.
I like Don Wayne.
Also, you're one of the dozen, so that makes 11. That's Mr. Lucky with 30. Don Wayne off up another tournament. That's true. Number 3, Goofy Willow, something new at least. Off deserves a picture with the same as Bull Bacon that has won the most titles in professional wrestling. And number 5, our boy Luke Smith, surely Scorpions. I think
Are you ready to finish up the future?
Yeah. Okay, so let me just say one last thing. So let me tell you real quick the YouTube videos, top winners. The first, just so you know, WWE.
What is this? What is this?
No, I read you the WWE.
Oh, now you're ready to.
Right. Just so you know, their first one had 5 million. AEW's first one had 930,000. Number Jay White attempted to dismantle the Death Riders. Number 2, Rated R Superstar, and Jay White sent a message to Death Riders. Really? Number 3, a Wild Brisbane Brawl, Death Riders versus Cobra White. I didn't think that was getting over at all, and it is. AEW World Tag Champions, Hurt Syndicate are confronted by returning Guns, and 5 Omega and Ospreay, Chris Butcher, and Takashita. Let me tell you what
the number you should number them.
Okay, the first one was 930. The second one, was 500,000. All of them are 500,000. 2, 3, 4, 5 are on the 500,000.
500,000. So they're getting
low 500,000.
Right. So they're paying the platforms that they're competing like the WWE for like 4 to 5 times the amount on their platform push. And if that's what they're doing in attendance. They're throwing like 5 times as many fans. They're throwing 3,000. They're throwing 12,000. You know what I'm saying? So like that's not difficult. But invest in your social media, and instead of like and try to like get people to find your best stuff on your show and present it in an entertaining way in your social media page. You know, so it's like they don't do that.
Now check this out because this was very surprising to me. So this next one is TNA and all other promotions. Okay. Number 1, we were just talking about this. Walk with Elijah, with Joe Henry. Bro, they got 884, more than AEW.
On TNA?
Yeah.
Wow. What else?
Yeah. Second was Joe Henry holds live concert following WWE Royal Rumble appearance, 400,000. Number 3, Psycho Clown and Pagano versus ADR and Macias, 221. Number 4, El Regreso de LA Park, the return of LA Park, AAA. Number 5, 25-man number 1 contenders battle royal for TNA. And number 6, 8, 9, 10, and 11 were all AAA matches. Now the last thing I want to tell you, 5 most top watched TV shows. Number 1, the Oscars. Number 2 through 5.
What are the numbers? I don't care.
4.5 million.
Okay.
Then number 2 through 5 is Presidential Joint Address to Congress on Fox, ABC, Fox, and ABC. And that got a million one. And no. 2 got 1 million, 3 got 1 million, 4 got 0.86, and 5 got 0.77.
Wait, is that on TV?
Yeah. Fox, ABC, Fox.
That's the highest rated show on TV.
The highest rated was the Oscars.
So wrestling is even higher numbers than all those other shows?
Yes, sir. And the SmackDown was number 11. NXT was number 94, and AEW was not at the top 100.
Wow, they're not even the top 100 shows of the week. What should they be? They're against the viewership that you love. I think that they were calling 900,000 a week. Think about like they were in the running like top 20 shows of the week.
Right.
Now they're not even in the top 100.
Yeah.
And it's like you would think you would look at the construction grades and give them I don't know, man. Whatever. We're literally giving you guys data, numbers, viewership, things like that. These are,
and if you're pragmatic and you're not emotional about this,
yeah,
we have a point.
Exactly. And guess what? We have the great news. With the legacy stack and the legacy ultimate set stack are back in stock at the lightpieceups.com. And I'm sure I'm going to get all these ruptured bicycle points. Instead of stacking up at the legacy set stack and the ultimate set stack retail page. You think you like the data?
For sure.
Well, this probably been extremely popular. Legacies are now stock all the month. So even on the switch, I tried the best-selling stack to safely not to optimize the stock level. Don't hesitate. The modern world is full of harmful chemicals that lower your testosterone. Let's get a fight back if you do and naturally stimulating your body's own natural testosterone production all the time. Healthy testosterone levels are down from more strength and more like that. Also, the healthiest sex drive is better sleep as you're playing your toes. So that's a new healthy performance job. The next step to test out at legacysex.com. Remember to support K100. It's the number 1 discount code use the legacysex.com to get a 10% discount and support the show. That's LEGACYXPDX.com. Level up the legacy. All of us listeners, they get it, don't forget, real leadership value. But I don't think the Jaguars will ever get it, and one of the reasons they'll never get it is because the owner son who runs the team also runs AEW, and that's how the flip side every week. And I just don't think they're on the ball. It's not good. I believe Tony Khan is son of the owner of the Jags. So I think that's the draft was it when they went to next race and whatever they were doing at AEW. Yeah, which is a good summation of how the Jags are run. But yeah, I don't think that first buddy get it. He's getting grilled. But hey, a lot of these folks are managed by the Harry Emanuel Bill has a good relationship with WWE, right? If you could take on the Illuminati references in the argument with the Roger, yeah, I did. I heard it. What do you think? What do you think about that? I honestly don't believe in the Illuminati and all that kind of stuff. So I thought it was a reach. I think just something somebody in the Illuminati said. No, but at the time, they obviously have marked for that, and then something there was the whole freaking Bray Wyatt's Funhouse was all QAnon references and stuff like all conspiracy shit. Like, so like they're playing to that people that like that are into that. I think they're absolutely doing that. I don't think they're getting back to even into the Illuminati stuff. You
Yeah,
know,
I don't disagree with you there, but as far as the Firefly Funhouse thing, I think a lot of that was Gray, and Gray was kind of like, shit,
well, let's just okay. Go ahead. I'm gonna do some research on this while we're doing this. The Lucha stuff.
I'll say this.
Conan Conan can be considered Illuminati since he was AAA. Like,
Mexico was a major card. Actually,
There's only one person who's that Illuminati. But here's the thing. I'm like you. I don't believe that exists, but a lot of people profit off of it, so they keep it going, right? But I'm not saying it isn't possible, because it sounds like something that could be happening now. Even if you don't know about the Illuminati, Harry, people that do read up about that stuff, they're really into it, and then they're also telling the people that don't know about it, it's Illuminati because of this, the black guy, this, and this, and people become interested. So they're using something, they're using something that a lot of people are curious about. I think that's very intelligent if that's what they're doing.
I'll just say this, as somebody who doesn't watch WWE, when I saw the clip on social media, I was like, what the hell is Travis Scott doing there? Because I had also heard about Travis Scott being on the Netflix episode, the first one, with Jey Uso, and isn't he a babyface? So I'm like, it didn't make sense to me, and I know he was
I forgot about that. He did come out with Uso. Then next thing
smoking a joint.
Right.
And next thing is next time you see him, he's with The Rock on the heel side, and it doesn't make sense at all. So, in my opinion.
It actually doesn't. I forgot about that.
So is selling your soul an Illuminati ritual? Not in any formal sense. It's more of a cultural symbol that's been tacked onto Illuminati lore by imagination and suspicion, not a confirmed practice with a handle. If you're asking about a specific ritual, there's no record of one tied directly to the Illuminati. It's just a lot of storytelling and hype. What do you think? Little a deal or just a figure of speech? Yeah, that's the whole big deal. That's not. It's selling your soul an Illuminati ritual. And basically, if you believe in it, yeah, it is. It's like, some, whatever it is. So, yeah. But go ahead. All right, so let's get into Luke.
Hey, if the Illuminati can fix AEW, I'd be all in on the Illuminati, but...
Well, our Emmanuel might buy it. So you never know.
I know, dude. It's like, hey,
I highly doubt that Tony would sell his company.
Yeah, he'll keep going as long as he can.
So, we're back. Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it. I was like, someday he gets married and he'll want to spend that time with a significant other instead, right?
Second time beating that one.
He'd rather spend it writing scripts and shit. What? Oh, we're back with Disco's favorite segment of the show, the Lucha Libre.
There's something else I meant to do, but
Harry Ruiz, friend of the show,
another time.
LA Dodgers Spanish announcer.
Not yet. I'm the Raiders and the USC Spanish announcer. I'm a diehard Dodgers fan.
Okay, Raiders. Yeah, Raiders. Raiders and who else?
USC Trojans.
And USC Trojans. Wow. Well, did you see that game against the girls' basketball team against UCLA?
Oh, dude, those two. I hope it ends up being the national championship game between them.
Both games are good.
Between who? 3. They played 3 times now.
I've seen 2 of them. USC and UCLA. It's really good rivalry, backstory, and really good.
Don't have top stars.
Yeah, Juju and so, but yeah. So he does the USC and he does the Raiders. Soon, hopefully the Dodgers.
Someday.
We'll get there. What do you got?
Yeah, so obviously last week I listened to Savinovich speak about the situation with Phoenix, the former luchador in AAA, the now former luchador in AEW, about how he was released, he was let go by AEW, and now everything points that he's going to WWE. What I want to ask you, Conan, is, if I may, if you were the booker in WWE and you booked Phoenix in the past, what would you do? Would you have him go immediately and tag with his brother Pentagon? Or would you let Phoenix be a different entity, potentially even on a different show, and have both of them do their own thing as singles? Because right now Penta's on fire, and I think that it wouldn't be the best to bring in Phoenix and make them the tag team at day one.
Well, you can obviously put them together. Phoenix goes in to do a promo and he gets bum rushed by somebody, and he goes to save his brother. But I would keep them apart, and then something, and people know they're brothers, but keep them apart until something brings them together.
Well, yeah, I've heard people speculate that the Chad Gable program that he has going on right now about a luchador in Mexico and all that might involve Phoenix. We don't know right now, but it's something to keep in mind. I honestly, like I said, I love both guys. They're both cool. I'm friends with both of them. Not at your level, Conan, but I've been knowing them pretty much since the beginning of Lucha Underground, and they're super cool dudes and wish them nothing but success in WWE. Honestly, as a fan, keep them separate, let them do their thing, and eventually bring them back together, because that's one of the things, in my opinion, that AEW screwed up big time on. You have them as a tag team act pretty much all the time that they were there in the company. These guys, they can shine if they are under the spotlight by themselves. So, in my opinion, keep them as singles competitors. Penta's already there, Phoenix. Everything points to him coming to WWE. Hopefully, he gets programmed the right way over there. Heading over to AAA, Rey de Reyes is March 22nd. That's 10 days, less than 10 days away from when we're recording right now. It'll be aired live on Space, 9:30 p.m. in Mexico City, 8:30 p.m. Pacific time, 11:30 Eastern in the U.S. There's a couple of matches already announced. AAA Mega Championship, Alberto El Patron versus Hijo del Vikingo, the Reina de Reinas belt, Flammer versus Dallas, and then you have 3 elimination matches heading into the Rey de Reyes match, correct?
Right.
Hijo de Corbacter Jr. versus Chessman versus Negro Casas. I honestly would go with Hijo de Corbacter Jr. winning, but you look at the other guys, and you can make a case for any of those. So that's a good match to keep an eye on. Niño Hamburguesa versus Takuma versus Belzegor versus El Fiscal. There's 3 guys right there I think can win the match, so that's good booking, in my opinion, keeping everybody intrigued. And Pimpinela Escarlata, Disco's favorite, versus Mr. Iguana, Panic Clown, and El Mesias. Same case. There's multiple wrestlers in that match that you can make a good case for that they're going to win. And the 3 winners are going to end up facing each other for the Rey de Reyes sword. Am I correct?
Yes.
Perfect. Is there anything else coming soon in the next week ahead of the show of more matches that are going to be as part of Rey de Reyes, or is this the final card?
That's the whole card, yeah. So JBL will be there. The whole Ojo will be there with some new members. The Ojo is the top heel faction for those that have been watching recently. And
that you remember, right?
Yeah, we got stars, Cibernetico. We've got Jeff Jarrett is coming in with Stan Madonna as his tag team partner. Dallas versus Flammer. Dallas is she was booked the strongest in Arena Mexico for years. And she'll be wrestling Flammer for the Reina de Reinas, which is the women's title, which basically means Queen of Queens. There's going to be a surprise return, a couple of surprises, and then, of course, the main event, Vikingo with his dad as his second. You remember the last time his dad went into the ring, he got attacked by the Ojo, and against ADR, who's a champion. So it's going to be really, the tickets are selling incredibly well. Like I said before, the business is doing really good right now for everybody. And check it out. I'm sure that there'll be some platform because it's live, right?
Yeah, it's live on Space.
Okay.
I have the Fire Stick that has like all the channels, and I got the Mexican channels too. So I'll be tuning in, and plus it's a great time, 8:30 p.m.
Can you record with that Fire Stick thing?
No, I can't record, but I can watch pretty much TV from anywhere in the world and pay-per-views live, so that helps out a lot. You guys also have a show in Ensenada a week later, March 28th, which is also lining up to be great. Cibernetico and Hijo de Corbacter Jr. versus El Patron and Mesias. Pagano, Hijo del Vikingo versus Deluxe and Oráculo. The Football Order. This match, I think it has 5 stars written all over it. Rayorus, Aerostar, Mecha Wolf, and Extreme Tiger in a 4-way. And you got the Trios match, Niño Hamburguesa, Mr. Iguana, and Octagon Jr. versus Tokyo Bad Boys, and Las Tóxicas, Flammer Guerra and Maravilla versus Data, Jada Stone Delicious, and 2 luchas más. Right now, the way that you guys are putting the guys and girls against each other, that's, in my opinion, intriguing TV that you can go watch. And Ensenada is also a TV show, so we'll be able to check it out either
Will
in
do.
space or on YouTube out here in the States as well when it airs. But in my opinion, right now you guys are on a good spot. Make sure you guys go get your tickets if you're listening out there in Mexico. Heading over to the other side
So
of town.
real quick, for all of you in Calexico and San Diego and Tijuana and Vegas and Arizona, which we got in LA, because that's mostly the people we get. The dates will be March 28th in Ensenada, a great place. And the next day, March 29th in Mexicali.
Make sure you go and support AAA. These shows are with the Crash, right? Or including some Crash talent.
Crash
You're
and
out there.
AAA,
Pretty cool, pretty cool. Heading over to the other side of Mexico City with Consejo Mundial de Lucha Libre, a good friend of the show, Taya. She made her debut in Arena, Mexico. Remember, she made her development in wrestling in Mexico with AAA, and she was part of the Perros del Mal. Caballo took her under his wing. You took her under your wing and supported her, and she grew immensely, being in Impact, being in NXT, being now in AEW and Ring of Honor. And with the association that AEW has with CMLL, she was able to make her debut in Arena, Mexico, tagging with Lady Cross, representing AEW and ROH. They defeated Era and Olympia in phase 1 of the CMLL Women's World Tag Team Championship Eliminator Tournament. And now they're going to go against Scotty and Kira, who defeated Diva Van and Johnny Robbie from the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong brand. Have you spoken with Kaya, Conan, and if not, can you just mention to the fans at home, being someone that lived in Mexico as long as she did, being involved in Lucha Libre as long as she has, how important is it to be able to wrestle in Arena, Mexico?
Everybody that's never wrestled there, to them it's on their bucket list and they want to be there, even American wrestlers. And because that's, the tradition goes back about 80 years. That was the first wrestling promotion in Mexico. And they have their own arena, which is Arena Mexico. So I've been there, that's where I lost my mask. People that haven't been there, it is a big deal. And Taya's so... she got over there like she gets over everywhere. That's why it's a shame that in AEW they're underutilizing her. Big surprise. And Deonna Purrazzo and others. But who was the girl that beat, this was like 2-3 weeks ago, that beat Taya, and then the next week she beat Deonna?
Harley Cameron.
Was it Harley?
Yep.
Yeah. I like Harley a lot, but...
You like Harley, Grant?
That was a little goofy, but I like Harley. She's very entertaining.
So you know where that came from, right?
What?
The backstage skit to sell the mask, and she was doing like merchandise like a minute on social media. So she put the mask on, and she's like, "I'm Harley Graham, and I'm here to show you all the stuff that you can get on AEWmerch.com." Right. And then it ends up on TV. I'm like, my God, dude.
And then she's dancing for Mortis, and Mortis is looking at him like he's never seen a woman in his life. But anyways, almost like, remember when Kenny Omega marked out for Monet, and I was like,
so you know Okada.
Remember when Okada marked out for Monet?
Yeah,
it was like her birthday or some shit.
His gimmick in Japan was a rainmaker. This guy that goes to clubs and gets all girls and shit. That's how he sees his Kenny Monet. That's like a 15-year-old that to the house.
Right.
Yeah, no, so we're talking about Taya, how big of this moment was for her and any wrestler,
it was
right?
huge. Yeah, I congratulated her, and she's like a little sister to me.
Yeah, they're coming out here to Vegas on Saturday. Like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to the show or not. They've just announced one match, dude, and the show is in 48 hours. And the match is FTR versus Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly. That ain't gonna motivate me to go by it. Right. So, in more news with Mexican wrestlers involved, Laredo Kid, he faced against Wesley from NXT, the former TNA talent, now with WWE in NXT. That show is airing tonight. That match should be great. And TNA, they're going to be in a big Hispanic city out here in the United States this weekend in El Paso with their pay-per-view tomorrow, Friday.
And Chavo Guerrero's going to be there, right?
Yeah, Chavito got a book for that show, so that's great. And then they're going to have their TV tapings on Saturday. And from what I'm hearing, the pay-per-view is selling great right now. in El Paso, and that's a city that 2 years ago AEW went and they pretty much sold out the Coliseum. They haven't gone back, and they had a super hot crowd.
Super hot.
WWE.
You know why? Because El Paso, as you know, because you're from Juarez, has wrestling history. Like Eddie's dad, Glory, used to promote it at El Paso Coliseum, and Eddie used to tell me stories of him running around, under the bleachers, and helping with, helping around whatever his dad needed. So that has a lot of history.
Yeah, and
Like, that's a wrestling city, like St. Louis, Philly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and WWE hasn't had a TV show in El Paso in like 20 years. So it's like when AEW went, everybody was super hyped to have a TV show there, and they haven't gone back in 2 years. And that was a great place where they had. So now it's great that TNA's there.
We had a show in El Paso, and we always sell out in El Paso. I mean, for more than 5 years. Okay, and so I told the people that work with me, I said, bro, this is a great place to bring JBL because the angle that he did in El Paso with Eddie and his mom, okay, he's right across the border. A lot of people from Juarez saw it. Plus, he's that big Texan with the cowboy hat, that's thinks Americans are inferior. You know what I'm saying? He would have gotten incredible heat if they didn't bring him.
It's a unique crowd, and folks, when they want to use that heat that you can get from American wrestlers versus Mexican fans, Mexican wrestlers, that's a great place to book an angle like that. Let's see if TNA does something similar to that. And heck, JBL has been showing up at TNA as well. And the NXT side of things, Stephanie Baker from Chile, who grew up as a wrestler in Mexico. She won the NXT Women's Championship on Tuesday at the theater in Madison Square Garden. I remember speaking about the Stephanie Baker situation months ago here on the show, and I was like, do you guys think she's actually going to get booked right or not in NXT? And by the looks of it, she is being put a rocket on her and sending her to the moon. Yes, I've heard that Julia is injured, and that's a big reason why they unified the championships, but from the moment that she arrived at NXT, all the reports indicate that they've made her feel special, and that's something that good for her. She made the right decision. You look over at the other company, and you got ladies like you just mentioned right now, Conan, Taya, you got Diana, you got Camille, that are lost in the deck of cards right now. And it's good that Baker, she's being respected for what she does over in NXT.
Well, definitely. She has a different look, a different style of wrestling. She knows her shit, and she can speak English. So, she has it. She has the it factor.
Did you hear her interview with Bully? With Bully Ray? With Bully Ray?
The one where she said she was treated bad in CMLL?
Yeah, what do you think about that? That she said that in Mexico she wouldn't get
probably true. Bro, the girls are more vicious than the guys. When you go in there to wrestle the girls, like in CMLL, and a little bit still AAA, because I try to stop that, but you can't be everywhere at all times. Girls make you, old school, pay your dues.
Yeah, it was
especially foreigners, because a foreigner in their eyes is taking a Mexican spot. Where I'm like, well, if they're good, they're actually adding to the business and complementing it. But some of these knuckleheads don't understand that.
Yeah, they bring in money, they bring in business if they're good. So why would you say no to that? So Baker pretty much said, here in WWE, it's teamwork. I can ask somebody, can you help me? Can I ask you something? In CMLL, nobody helps you. You're on your own. There's no teamwork there. Do you know how to wrestle? Yes. So wrestle. When you're training, she was asking, can you help me? And no, you can't say nothing. You can't do nothing. You can't ask. That's pretty much what she said in that interview. And I'm like, come on, man.
But I will say this, she had a great teacher, which was Ricky Marvin.
Yes, a good friend of our buddy Ruben Zamora. Heading over to a difficult part of the promotion, or not of the promotion, of the Lucha World, the pair of deaths that we had over the last week. Trovador Solitario, he was very famous in Ciudad Juarez. He was the biggest star in the border until Rocky Star rose in the 80s, against whom he lost his mask. Conan, I know that he might have been before you arrived in the borderland, but were you able to know about him and get to know him and all that stuff?
No, he was before I got there. I mean, I knew Rocky Star because my first angle I did it with him, but I didn't know who this guy was. I heard of him, but I didn't know who he was or met him.
He said it
Yeah, and
was
somebody else that passed away. So Trovador Solitario was 74. Ciclón Ramirez, he was 64 years old and he passed away this past week as well. El Rey del Tope was one of his nicknames. Anything that you would mention about him that you know of?
Well, he was a good wrestler, you know, really good high spots and good energy, but he never really made it as a big star. He had a great name, you know.
Yeah.
It didn't help him much.
And to close, Hijo del Santos promotion has their final show in Mexico City on April 6th in Arena Ciudad de Mexico. Santos' final show in Mexico City. They're going to have, it's been a little bit controversial in Mexico. They posted a poster that had, sorry, that's my bad, that had Hijo del Santo and they had Fuerza Guerrera and saying a mask will fall. But they didn't say these guys, one of these two masks is going to fall. They're just going to have a match with multiple wrestlers and masks going to fall between them. But a lot of folks just were disguised and tricked and thinking that it was going to be Hijo del Santo versus Fuerza Guerrera, mask versus mask.
Right. Well, the problem, and I feel bad for Santo, he has not been drawing well. He's had to cancel a lot of shows. And on top of that, usually besides the main event, which will usually have him and Fuerza, LA Park, sometimes Wagner, usually the other matches aren't that interesting. You know, like he had heat with the two companies that could have lent him people, CMLL and AAA. So he's got to get what's left on the indies, and that's not enough to pique most people's interest.
Yeah, you can't have just the one match lucha card and hope that it sells the.
Yeah, and he's going into big arenas, so it looks worse.
Yeah, that card in Aguascalientes where the wrestler
that's
got
it, y'all.
the angle in the background.
I did my duty.
Completely
I'm out of here.
So
See y'all around.
Another controversial situation in that card too is that there's going to be a woman